Again. Now, let's move on to our next keynote speaker for today, Sreejaya Rajguru. Ms. Sreejaya Rajguru is a student of BA Philosophy, and she believes that literacy can lead us from misery to hope. Today, she'll help us understand how we can be hopeful for the new generation and the education to get better. Welcome once again, Ms. Rajguru, here on this platform. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the golden opportunity. So without further delay, I will be sharing my screen now. I hope it's visible now.
Yes, it is, but we can go full screen as well. Yes, now it's full screen.
Okay. So I will be speaking on the topic, lesser and lesser people are interested in reading books. Why, and is it important to preserve books, or should there be an evolution? So as you know, books are an important aspect of our learning experience. And you know, from the time we go to school to the time we draw, to the time we like get our jobs and all, books have always created a deep impact in our lives. And you know, over the times, books have managed to create a genre for just you know every needs of every individual. But and you know, everyone has had a connection with books in some way or the other. However, you know, this was not the case always. um, Books was not easily available in the past, especially for women. They were not available for women in the past, but for men, they were always available. And you know, men were always encouraged to read and be stronger than women. But today we live in a disruptive and distractive world. No, in the last 40 years, the world has transformed into something which we can never imagine of. And the most important impact that has been, you know, that we have much more information in our brains that we can handle. And I believe that it has affected our attention span, and actually, you know, our brains are bombarded with too much information. Like we get information from WhatsApp, mails, Twitter, Facebook. We get a certain of information, but not the retainable knowledge that we acquire. So at the same time, in this busy world, in this world full of you know, WhatsApp and Twitter, I believe that books always, you know, books are no less than a meditation. And when when you're overloaded with too much of chaotic information, if you curl up around a sofa, or if you curl up, or if you go down in the garden with a book in a sunny day, and if you're doing and if you're lazy and if you don't feel like doing anything, you can just take a book and just read some few lines and just, you know, relax yourself. So I believe that books are no less than a meditation. Also, with books we have a lot of we have a lot of advantages. Like, you know, we can develop our first vocabulary to extending our understanding. Vocabulary, you know, we can like improve our vocabulary, like you know, fix our grammatical issues, and fix our you know, pronunciations, everything. Also, our cognitive abilities develops within time if we read books. Like you know, we we have a greater understanding to see the world through various perspectives. So through books we can actually uh, develop our cognitive abilities. Books are also known as stress busters. Like if you're having too much of screen time on your phone, I can assure that if you read a book and if you read few lines from those from a favorite book or from a very interesting book, I can assure that you know it is like a stress buster. Can you please give me a second? I'm so sorry, like, someone had to come to my room. So let me continue. Okay, so what I was saying, books are also known as great stress busters. Yeah, we can also create an imagination world of our own. Books can also help us in imagining a lot of things, like when we are reading a para, like a boy, an elder brother or and a younger sister is walking in a moonlit night, and they are watching the city beyond them and the city is at war. So we can imagine the scenario in our head. Okay, and this is an imagination. This is a scenario which no movie can ever compete of. So that's what books are for. We often hear that book was better than the movie, but have you ever thought about why in most cases a book is more impactful than a movie based out of it? Okay, so the reason is that while reading a book, you interpret and imagine things as you see them. Whereas in a movie, where what you see is the director's interpretation. Every author has something to say. And a book is years of research, which not only augments our imagination, but it also adds to our knowledge and introduces us to different writing styles. So let me give you an example of Sat Khun Maaf. The review was the book was better than the movie. So Sat Khun Maaf is not a thriller, and there is no police trail behind Susanna. The world outside her haunting estate is invisible and silent. We know from the start that she is going to like kill the husband, that she is going to kill all of her seven husbands. But it is neither magic, realist cinema, nor an upset black comedy also. Quite tragically, although there are elements of this genres in the film, but the director of the movie doesn't manage a skillful and consummate genre bender. From one murder to another, aided by all the three butlers, the film, prods along with very absurd and predictable things. Yeah. Very controversial books are also made into movies. I hope you have heard about these two books that are made into movies. But if you go and read these books and watch the movie, you will find out that the movie is only a part of the book, whereas the book describes a whole lot of things, a whole lot of psychological problems the girl that goes through, and the man and her father also. You will get to know about the psychology of the characters. But in the movie you cannot even get to know that who is doing harm to whom and who is doing good to whom, and who is the good person here and who is the bad person here. Often many of us don't have role models, so we should always avoid the bad and focus on the good. Let me tell you about Black Friday. So Black Friday is a book based on S. Hussein Zaidi's Dongri to Dubai. So this is a movie which is which is about Bombay blast of 1993, and it is known as one of the darkest chapters of the sprawling tall towers of Mumbai. And Dongri to Dubai's uh, protagonist was Yaqub Memon, but the protagonist's name here is Satya. So the book's character and the movie's character quite contrasts with each other, because Yaqub Memon is known as a villain character, and Satya is something which we perceive as someone who is like Mahatma Gandhi, as a very a wise person, who is not at all interested in killing people, and who doesn't take in worldly affairs. So like the movie character and the movie totally contrast from the book, the characters also. So now I'll explain why printed books versus audiobooks, ebooks, and why the former is better. Zombie apocalypse. So if a zombie apocalypse happens in your town, or if your town is out of electricity, or no internet coverage, you can just curl up around your bed or a sofa and just read a book, and read a book and just relax yourself, and you can save yourself from the zombies also. This is an important aspect. I don't know how many of you all love the smell of books, but I totally love the smell of books, and it can be compared to nothing to that of OTT or audiobooks or ebooks. If I smell a Kindle, the heat of the Kindle will just overpower my face and just burn my face and all. But if I just hold a book and just smell it, the smell of the book cannot be compared to any other smell in the world, I believe. While reading book, we can focus totally on what we are reading. But when we are reading from Kindle or audiobooks, we are distracted by certain links which appear sidewise. But when we are reading books, we can only focus on the alphabets and on the sentences. And no links, nothing can distract us from going on reading the book. Eye strain. With Kindles and ebooks comes eye strain and ear pain also. Through audiobooks, we can have ear pain also. So if we read a book, we will hardly have eye strain. But if our screen time is too much, our screen time is more than what we read, then we will definitely get eye strain. With ebooks and audiobooks, we don't have time to think or note. Like if we are reading, or if you are reading at a constant speed, and if a very difficult word comes out, so when we are reading in a book, we can just underline it, and we can search the meaning later if we want. But when we are listening to audiobooks, or when we are reading ebooks, we'll have to close the tab in the Kindle or ebooks, then go to Google and then search the word. It takes a whole lot of time. And with audiobooks, while you are doing something and you are listening it, if there comes a sentence or a word which you find it quite difficult to understand, you will not be able to pause it. You will have to like again go to your phone, then pause it, then you will have to search the word on the Google, and then you will come to know that this and this and this happened, this and this and this you need to know about it. With books, we don't need battery, charger, Wi-Fi. No signal is needed. Just a book and a human being. That is all we need. Coronavirus and the shift to online reading. You know, with due pandemic course, and as schools and colleges are heavily shut down, we are shifting our focus from books to online reading. Like I study in Delhi University, and the books that we read there are not available in my state. So I'll have to download the PDF from the computer, or what my professor will give me, and I'll have to read from there. Reading from PDFs and all becomes quite difficult, because when we are reading, we always have the tendency to shut down the PDF and shift to some other things. But while we are reading from book, we don't have any other choice but to read from the book. But if we're reading from PDF, we always have this tendency, it's a human tendency, it's a normal human tendency to get bored after a while and minimize the screen. So what to do to turn off the digital world? So these are some tips if you want to turn off the digital world. Predict what might happen next. You always need to have the curiosity to know things and to know things better. You should always read your future, try to read your future and predict. You should always visualize, picture places, events being described, and write it down. Whatever you like, write it down. Connect. When you are reading a book, you should connect to the personalities over there. Like if you like a protagonist or a person over in the book, you should always connect to yourself that what if this happened with me, what would I do in this situation? Okay. And then ask questions about the material that you are reading. You should ask that why did this situation arise, why did it happen to it, and why did it happen to him or her, why did it happen to this person only, and then clarify, investigate, identify main points and summarize. You always need to have Bomkesh Bakshi vibe, Bomkesh Bakshi, heart in you, and you should always investigate further. That further, if the situation arise in our lives, what should I do and what should I be ready for? And then evaluate. Judge the story and actions of the characters. You should always be judgmental in your mind, not with others and not in front of others, but in your mind, you should always be judgmental. Like I have said that not many of us have, role models, but we should always look at other people and should always avoid the bad and take the good from it. Why we should preserve books? Books, cultural heritage and history, they keep this generation alive. And book is often characterized as a work of art, written or spoken, especially those considered having a visionary or exquisite merit. In other words, a lifelong value. Generally speaking, books, is a way for us to know and to learn voices of history. And it is a big help on the community, considering it enables us to know the history of our nation and awakens the nation spirit. It also helps us to analyze about our older generations, what our older generations did, and why we should not repeat history further. So that's why we should preserve books. Preserving books, will not lead to any danger or harm for you, but it will be a benefit for you. Apart from reading from, instead of reading from audiobooks or OTT or wherever, podcasts and all, you should read a book instead. You should, uh, hungry to know that uh, what is inside it, and you should narrate it by yourself and not depend on others to narrate it for you. So that's why we should preserve books. These are some of the book recommendations that I suggest to everyone. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, 1984 by George Orwell, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank, The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini, and The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. These six books are must read and must read by every human beings on this planet. So that's all I want to say. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you so much, Sreejaya, for such an insightful talk. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, your perspectives about the books. Wonderful session, I must say.
Thank you.
After this, I would request the audience, if you have any questions, any inputs, anything to ask or suggest, Sreejaya, the forum is all yours now. Anyone, please.
What is your go-to book? Okay. My go-to book is The Interpreter of Melodies. Of Melodies. And also, Thousand Splendid Suns. It's a very emotional book. And Thousand Splendid Suns is also by Khaled Hosseini. You should read them. You only recommend three books for the rest of your life. What would they be? Okay. Mm, one is Alchemist. The other one is Why Am I a Hindu? And the third one is the autobiography of Indira Gandhi. These are the three books that I would like live with the rest of my life. Okay, I would like to be teleported uh, into a world of fictional and Indian history. Fictional Indian history. Mm, Indian summer. John, it's Indian summer.
That's nice, Sreejaya. Good choices, good suggestions that you have made. Yes, indeed, that you have spoken about Khalid Hosseini. He is actually, if we read through Kite Runner and Thousand Splendid Suns, he would actually, you know, would go to a different world together. I agree with you fully. I have a question for you, Srijaya. As you were talking about books being converted into the movies, right? So recently, White Tiger has been converted into a movie. Arvind Adhika's White Tiger, right? It was acted by there was Priyanka Chopra and
Yes.
Rajkumar Rao there. What is your insight about the book? As I could do a very good comparison between the book and the movie. So, what is your insight about the movie
Like
and the
I
book?
haven't seen the movie yet, or neither I have read the book. But
Okay.
I have got insights from my younger brother. He told that the movie is as great as the book. He didn't read the book, but he just got the insights that the movie is as great as the book. So
That is the reason I wanted to understand this because I have read the book and I have seen the movie, and I found that they have done a quite good justice to the book.
yeah, but because the White Tiger, the director, which the director, he is a well-read man. Apart from Bollywood directors, they don't read much books, but the director of the White Tiger, I believe that he's a well-read man, and that's why the movie is a hit today.
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have uh, ask the audience, do we really have any further things to add as inputs, or do we have anything else to ask or add to what Srijaya has shared now? All right. I must thank all of you once again for your active participation, for the support that you have extended, and I must appreciate our keynote speakers today for the wonderful insights and the demonstration of energy and uh, through energy was shown through Pralay's session, and Srijaya's session was something very, you know, it was a blend, it was a breeze. Wonderful. I appreciate both of you. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. We will soon come back with one more new edition, one more fresh edition of Gen X Blend Talks. We have a program called Chalk, wherein we look forward to a 360-degree empowerment and competency development of professionals and people who are aspiring or looking forward to start a professional career. There are 75 professional skills we develop a person upon. It's a holistic development we look forward to through our CHAR program. Do visit our website and know more about the chat program. If at all you feel like attending to any of such sessions, we hold master classes on regular intervals. You can always join in a master class and know what we offer in chat program. Thank you so much, everybody, for your time, for your participation, for your insights, your knowledge sharing, and wonderful smiling faces.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Here I conclude today's session. We will come back soon with one more edition, and I hope we will have Pralay and Sreejaya there as well as audience, and they would be able to give in their inputs there too.
Yes, absolutely.
Have
Sure.
a very good time ahead. Stay safe. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Take care of your friends. Stay safe. We will come back soon. Thank you so much. Have a great evening ahead. Signing
Thank
off
you.
here. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so
Thank you.
much. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sushil. Thank you so much.